What's going on, y'all? It's Jason Reviews back at it again with another video. This time we are going to be doing a recap for UM5's first round, all 8 battles. There is a lot to unpack here. We're not going to go perfectly in order. There was 3 battles on Saturday and 5 on Sunday. I'm not going to start from the very first battle on Saturday and end on the very last battle from Sunday. Some of these battles just have very clear results. Some of these battles are just flat out more interesting and have more quotables than the other battles. I won't be able to give it the full bar breakdowns that I do when I could put a single video, around a battle. So we'll keep the ones that are pretty clear, more short and concise, and go into the more controversial battles from over the weekend. And without further ado, let's just hop right into it. And like I said, we're going to keep it pretty short and concise, so there will be some lack of bar for the very, very clear results. It's just a matter of, keeping the recap watchable. It'd be impossible to do one video, bar for bar recap for 8 battles. So Shuni versus Ice. Ice cleared her. If you would watch my predictions video, I did have Shuni winning going in. I thought she would carry over the momentum, and I thought that Ice would not be able to concise his material down at 230. I think there is a little bit of truth. I think Shuni's second is the best round of the battle. Have his head leak in red. I'll crush Ice. I thought that was dope. She had a couple other dope bars in there, but her first was way too choppy. Ice delivered clear and had a bar have her upside down like ketchup in the house. That was actually pretty fire. So even if you're not the biggest fan of Ice's first, cleanness to not cleanness. So Ice got the first. I had Shuni getting the second and the third. They actually both choked, but Shuni chokes like 6 bars in and cuts her round. And then Ice chokes way later in this round, but still gets it back. A little bit of a strange battle, but Ice took a 2-1 clear and advanced. Stumbles versus Sick on the second day of the card, and a battle that's also plagued by Stumbles. Stumbles living up to the name. Obviously, I didn't give this battle too much respect. I thought Sick was just going to walk over him, and in a sense, Sick did win 3-0 in my opinion, and advance. But Stumbles' material was actually really, really good for what he got out. It was in the middle of lots of chokes and stumbles, especially in the first 2 rounds. Which really, really hurt him and made the battle non-competitive. But he has pretty fantastic real talk. It's a lot of like what Your Honor reminds me of, where it's just so unprepared. But when he does get shit out, he's not only extremely entertaining and funny, but he raps some real shit. His opener bar about mother, I knew a mother whose son died. She found him 2 weeks later and couldn't smell the body because she had COVID. That was crazy. He had a charge the Tesla bar in there. He said, fuck a donation page. We gonna make a go find him. So Stumbles did have highlights. Stumbles is actually, it definitely earned some praise for me for someone that didn't take the matchup too seriously. And Sick definitely had some dope shit too. Let me see if I can get a couple quotes here from Sick. He named off all these guns, crazy flow pattern, and said in order to stop Stumbles, you gotta grab something. That was definitely crazy. Amber Heard, I keep that shit in the bed. It's disgusting, but, with the trial, that was crazy. He had a flip on it's my life, not yours. Take your life, not mine. So Sick definitely showed out. And seen a little bit of pushback. I thought this was a pretty good Sick, not the world-stopping best ever, but I thought he was solid. And then Sick was able to win that battle clear. And then another day 2 battle that happened that was clear was day 1, Saturday, which we all know there was some problems Saturday with the generator, all types of delays in the battle, delays in the event. It was a mess Saturday. Day 1 of UM5 was the worst day we've probably had across all 5. I just wanted to get that out. I don't want to just rant about it. We were able to work through it. The second day was better. But definitely to mention, I think everyone knows that first day was crazy. But the one battle that I feel like people did look forward to that went down the first day was JC versus O-Red, the trilogy, the third time these two have met. Red actually goes. I think Red takes the first round. I'm not going to say clear is definitely a debatable round. He had a Nas ether flip to start. He bumped JC all around the stage and said, "You ain't like it? You a dancer, right? Bust a move." That was a haymaker. And JC had a pretty good first round, but I thought it was pretty close. I edged JC the first, but I think most of the judges and most people gave Red the first, which I'm not mad at. But the last 2 rounds after that, they just get more and more clear. There is a lot. These are 2 pen-heavy guys. I don't have too much, that I'm going to all quote here. Like I said, I'm trying to keep it more concise with the clear results. But JC had a Streets of Rage 2 bar that was fire. Metal, mind bending like there is no spoon. And even Red had a couple lines in his last 2 about Something about JC's mother's dying, and that even when he asked for the GoFundMe, all the fans gave him was a "My condolences," a flip on JC's "My condolences" slogan. But Red was over explaining his bars. It was just regular shit that we see from Red on the big stage. One of the most talented pens we've really had in battle rap, but he's just never really figured out how to get it all together for crowds and big stage events. So JC took this battle. I had him 30, but he took the last 2 rounds clear, and the judges did advance him. Next battle I want to speak on, really a letdown. I thought would easily be best battle of the weekend, was Fonz versus Prestavia. I had stamped this with possible classic potential and kind of easily the best matchup in the first round. But preparation really killed both of them. Fonz has a first. He chokes about, not early, but he chokes and has to end his round. Just a really round, just giving up choke. And then Prestavia actually has by far her best round of the battle. Prestavia's first is kind of what I expected from Prestavia, and I predicted her to win this battle. Where obviously Fonz choking kind of makes a layup no matter what. She could just get through her material and win the round, but she was bombing on Fonz in that first round. Boy, let me tell you, if I got something here, the landlord tried, but he couldn't get me out. Squatters' rights. She said 100K in the line. This ain't rap. We got beef. She had a bruh man eating from pain line. I thought that was dope. How is he the landlord when I'm from the real estate? So Pris had definitely a highlight first. We get into the second. Fonz starts this Pastor Fonz thing. It's definitely like a comedic angle, but he's definitely got some punches in there. It was like a light second, though. He really didn't. He wrapped this whole second, but maybe it was something from needing the momentum in the first. I believe the Battle Rap Doctor. Shout out to the Battle Rap Doctor. Great dude. And he was talking about how the first had gotten through all of its momentum, it would have carried into the angle of the second. If not, this could be a loose comparison, but if you guys saw Clips versus Yoshi, the way that his first maybe cleanly carries into the momentum of his second round with the whole Jesus Zeta dropout thing. So I could see that. So it wasn't awful, but it was like kind of a weird angle. But thankfully for him, Prestavia chokes, stumbles around, and then chokes really early in her second. So it was 1-1 going into the third. And then Fonz just dogs walks her. Neither of them choke in their third, but Prestavia just has a pretty light third all the way around. And then Fonz has I'm going to send her this Christian mingle. I'll send this Christian mingle in the ocean with plenty of fish. That was crazy. Split a title like Shaq and Kobe at the All-Star game. So Fonz 2-1 clear was a bit of a letdown in the battle. Fonz definitely turned up in his third and showed us hopefully that he's going to be the Fonz. I'm not really too worried about Fonz. But Prestavia let me down. I thought that she could have had this battle. I know that she's the underdog, but I think it was right there for the taking. She just got in her own way with that choke in the second round. So Fonz 2-1 clear, and I believe it was the judges' 4-0 sweep advanced him as well. Next battle to talk about here, I think we'll go with Swamp versus Suge, which was actually the last battle that took place for all the first round. This is not a good battle. This is not a good battle. It's not the worst battle ever, but I feel like you can almost see it in the building on camera. I wasn't in the building, so I can't speak for it. But in how lackadaisical the judges judged, and plus both their performances, how choppy it was, the lack of even great material, it just didn't make for that good of a battle. Suge went first, had a very choppy, just all over the place first. Swamp choked 4 seconds into his round. I didn't count it as a choke. He did the whole fuck. And that's horrible. I don't know why battle rappers keep doing that when they forget their material. Screaming fuck and damn only makes it look worse for you. But he got it back like instantly. I thought he got it back with about like 5 or 7 seconds. If I get a rewatch to it, maybe I'll feel different. But Swamp had an okay first. He took it damn near by default. If you count that round as a choke, I guess you could give it to Suge. But they were just so both and sloppy and all over the place. It just was a weird first round. So I give the first to Swamp. The second Suge was actually pretty good, a little choppy still. And then Swamp second was just bleh. So Suge got the second. And then the third is where the controversy is a little bit with this one. I thought Suge edged the third. I don't think Suge just clearly won the battle. I don't think either of their thirds were great. But I thought it was somewhat of a comfortable third edge for Suge. But the judges voted differently. I believe it was Cal and Polo that voted for Swamp. Or I don't remember exactly what it was, but 2 of the judges voted for Swamp, and then it went to a fan vote. And Swamp got the battle, just 3-2. But Swamp first and third is kind of the logical. If you're going to pick Swamp, that would be the logical pick to make. It would have to be the first and third round. Very unimpressive, though. I expected more from Swamp in a situation like this. I thought being matched against a fellow, top tier, bigger name. Well, he's not a top tier, big name, Swamp himself. But getting that matchup, would have an opportunity to prove himself. And I don't know, prep time is a big reason. I think people have saying a lot of the chokes and the lack of good content comes from the prep time. But we're only going from 11 days of prep to 14 after this. It's not that much of a difference. If you're not cutting it on 11 days compared to 14, I don't know if you're going to be able to cut it. That's if the numbers are that way. That's what I've heard and deduced myself. But, I'm not, I really don't have much to say about the battle quotable-wise. It was a pretty just, battle. I thought Suge should have advanced, but the fan vote was down by 1,000, and the judges split. So if there was a controversial decision besides the two that we'll talk about towards the end here, I suppose this could be one of them, but shout out to Swamp for advancing to the next round. Then the next battle I want to talk about, actually a one-round battle, and even though it was one round, one of the more interesting battles of the weekend, Real Name Brandon versus Rum Nitty. Now, Brandon went from twerk to getting... These guys had 6 days prep. When Twerk was replaced with Nitty, they were given 6 days prep for this battle. So bumping it down from 3 rounds to 1 is almost understandable. It's how mad can I be at it? I know that this is probably a one-time circumstance. This won't be, something they commonly do. But, one rounder isn't preferable, but given the circumstance, I understand. Like I said, Rum won pretty clear advancing to the next round. I don't think anybody thought different was going to happen. And it did, nothing different did happen. But 2 bars that I do want to highlight that Rum had, and his one-rounder was one of the performances of the night amongst a bunch of 3-round battles. In my opinion, I thought he was incredible. But Switchblade real name like Duncan Pennyhughes, that was crazy. The class act bar, that was ridiculous. And then Beasley told me, at this point, Rum, you are UM. RUM, our Ultimate Madness. It's just his level of writing on 6 days prep. God bless Swamp, man. But that'll be, like I said, I'm doing this video. The predictions video will be a whole other video that I'll have out this week for the next round. So this is just going over recapping this particular event. If you're looking here for predictions, my thoughts in the second round, I got you guys, but that will be a whole other video in itself. And that leads us into the two probably most talked about, more controversial decisions here. Then the next battle to go over, Sheed versus Nun Nun. There has been mass hysteria. People have been talking about this for days. I am pretty tired of talking about this battle, so thankfully this will probably be the last time that I have to discuss it. But Nun Nun versus Sheed. Some are saying it's a robbery. Nun Nun won the fan vote 84-16. The judges advanced Sheed. My personal opinion on the battle, I had Nun Nun comfortably 2-1. Now, originally I had Gentlemen's, actually. I did have Nun Nun winning all 3, but the more I think about it, Sheed really did win the first round pretty comfortably. At first, I do think that the material is close between Nun Nun and Sheed in the first, but Sheed's performance, utilization of the stage, that's just being a better performer and, optimizing your delivery. So I have to give credit to Sheed. Sheed got the first round. Into the second and third, though, I thought these were comfortable rounds for Nun Nun. Nun Nun starting with the fantastic TurboTax rebuttal to a TurboTax line that Sheed had in his first. He had the Sheed flip. Some didn't like it, like Sheed die on stage, like Selena. Definitely a lot of them I didn't like. There's 2 or 3 that I did. But these guys were writing back-to-back, with the rematches before, trying to get creative. I know it can be difficult. Not that I don't count lines I don't like, against them or give them that, I'm seeing right now, I am penalizing him for that, but I didn't think it was too egregious. Then with the rebuttal, the I bring pounds back faster than Big T, I thought that was fire too. So I thought Nunn pretty clearly got the second. I didn't like Sheed's second. He had a King Lancelot 12 around the table bar that I think went over people's heads that I loved in the beginning. But after that, he had the gritty bar. It's something about hitting the gritty. I really didn't like that. And the Surf AMG spin-off thing that he did, I also didn't like that a lot either. So then we go into the third, and I think this round is closer. I think the first and third are pretty close, but I thought none of them pretty got the third. I didn't like a lot of Sheed's third either. He had a Mark Sanchez, but you fumbled that, a fumble bar. It was, it was cool. But the Cinderella bar, I think, is the stick out for me in Nunn's third. Cinderella, a bitch that don't know... Cinderella story, a bitch that don't know what time it is. I like that. like I said, I'm not going bar for bar. I've been doing this all week and going into the notes with people. The decision is the decision. I don't think it's the most egregious thing ever, because I do think the first and the third are, close. I got Sheed winning the first, and then the third is somewhat close. I'm just surprised I didn't give it to Nun. I'm not going to use the word robbery like that. Like I said, this isn't just downright. That's a very extreme case, but I do think Sheed should have been advanced. But then now there's become a campaign, it looks like, for Sheed possibly making it to a Gnome, Nun for Sheed, for Nun to for Gnome, and we'll see if he gets that. Wouldn't be mad at it. They might be making a video going over some possible matchups for him. Nun book him. You guys let me know if you'd like to see that. But yeah, that was that result, and that leads us into the final battle for UM5, the most shocking and possibly the most controversial. And the final battle to go over, Geechee Gotti versus True Foe. This is a battle that I had pinned for Geechee to win clear, kind of run over him. I think people were overthinking it a little bit, but I was wrong, guys. True Foe won the battle and did advance to the next round of the tournament. And it is not that crazy of a decision. Now, this is a 50-50 battle. This is debatable. This didn't happen in a tournament setting, which it never would have, but it probably would have been a debatable. I think this is a debatable battle. We're going to start from the back and work forward. Pause if necessary. True Foe starts out his third with a 55th Street Haymaker, which was fire. But then he choked later in the round, a big stumble, and it led to Geechee getting the third just clear. I thought the third was a pretty cool round from Geechee. I think Foe might have gotten that round clear without the choke, but Geechee did not choke. He was able to go through his material. That white girl was fucking my career up. I forgot I can't remember what the other half of that flip was, but that particular bar that I remember was good. Geechee got the third. I thought Foe got the second clear. I thought he had a breakout second round. The dude that shot me is alive, but do you know how many funerals he's been to? That was crazy. He had a funeral True Intentions bar later in the round. That was great too. No mask, so when he gets a god, he can tell him who did it. I thought he clearly got it. People were saying the second is close. I thought there was a lot of air ball lines, like for instance, Geechee's air ball. He had a layup. He had a rebuttal that just didn't land with the crowd for the most part. But he did have one fire line in there that I do want to mention. Mama would have seen you lying and said that your mama would have seen you lying and saying that's not true. I thought that was pretty fire. But Foe's aggression, just the way he came out, I thought Foe pretty clearly got the second, which brings it down to the first. And man, this is a close first. This is the 50-50. It can really go either way. People like Geechee's line don't need Wi-Fi for funeral service. I wasn't able to quote them all, man, all the bars in here, but it really was split down to the wire. I personally, on my first watch, did edge True Foe. It was hard for me, even going back later into the round. You see Geechee end the third so well, and it makes you think, well, did he really get the first? I don't know. I thought the judges would vote Geechee's ways in the first. I was expecting Geechee to get this, even though it was close, expecting the judges to advance Geechee, but Foe 2-1, it was a two judges split, went down to the fan vote, and by 60+%, I believe it was 63% of the fan vote that True Foe won, he was able to advance and retain the War Dog belt. I don't do topic blogs, but man, it's a crazy thing to think about. One of the biggest upsets in battle rap history, if you ask me. Definitely the biggest that we've seen in Ultimate Madness so far, any of the iterations of the tournament. And it says a lot. I mean, I had True Foe pinned to lose, and I've been pretty critical of the UM4 class on my channel on Twitter. Just not a lot of guys showing breakout potential, having breakout battles. But this right here, this is top tier potential to come in here to get and if he doesn't fuck up in the third, possibly a visibly clear win over Geechee Gotti. But to get a judge win versus Geechee Gotti with the pressure on UM setting, you got to give all the props to True Foe, even if you're not a fan of his style. I like his style, but even if you're not a fan of his style, you just got to you got to show the respect where it is. This guy really has the potential to be a star from here, and this battle is his way of kicking down the door and announcing that. And with that, guys, that will be my full review of the UM5 first round. A couple things I want to comment on before I head out. The judging caught a lot of flack the first day, especially John, and Calico. And I think definitely going into the second day, they definitely had to step up. I know Cal was being funny, bringing out the notepad, quoting every single bar from Sick versus Stumbles. If Cal ever gets to watching this, I just like to say, bro, I do really prefer that over the first day's judging, but I do respect your judging opinions. I think we need 2 to 3 bars maybe from each round, or just a highlight from each round. If you can name a bar from each round, all the 6 rounds, we wouldn't be mad at that either. But all jokes aside, I think that there was definitely a step up. I have faith in the judges going forward from here. And shout out to Polo and Quest for being good on both days, especially Polo. I personally have my worries about Polo as a judge, but I think that he did a fantastic job both those days. So I just want to give that respect out there. But yeah, guys, expect UM5 content this week. I'll have the predictions up for the next round, if not tomorrow, the day after. But pretty, 5 out of 10 kind of quality from the first round, but with the humongous upset of Geechee versus Drufo, it'll definitely give us talking points for the next 2 weeks until we get to round 2. From here, expect more UM5 content, expect some more creative content. I have a big video dropping this Friday, so keep an eye out for that. I got one I really think you guys are going to like dropping this Friday, so look out for content all this week. I plan on giving you guys a lot of good shit. And yeah, man, it's been Jason Reviews again. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.